And guys, I have the honor of actually introducing Andrea Gebhardt, Platinum Black One, right? Knows how to build a killer pod, Elite 3, leader of leaders. I've known her inside the profession for a long time. When she said yes and came to Modair, I was tickled pink because I know the skills and the talents and just that creative brain that she brings. Well, she was going to do big things, and she's done so much good stuff here at Modair and helped so many people along the way. And so she's going to talk to you guys about the power of the pivot, right? Michelle talked about power of connections, connecting with people. You guys know we do one thing here. We connect with people, we talk to people, we connect with people, we talk to people. Like, that is it, right? We really are here to build a network. And then obviously Kayla talked about, how do you attract like your perfect recruit, right? How do you attract you? And obviously through stories and all of the lives, like, man, she crushed it. And now Andrew's going to talk about, okay, so I'm in these conversations. How the heck do I pivot and talk about business, right? How do I start inviting like a machine, right? And so she's going to jam and talk about that. So Andrea, I want to pass it to you. Thanks so much for hanging out, and the floor is yours.
Yay. Thanks, Sarah. I'm so pumped to be here, taking notes, scribbling over off the side of my computer here, reaching out to Kayla right over to let her know what an incredible job she just did. So far, it's been a power-packed session, and I hope that you guys are just, feeling really just grounded and supported, but also fired up, because sometimes I think we just need that injection of belief and excitement, and just to be reminded, because anytime we've done anything for a period of time, the further we get away from the beginning of it, the less sparkle it can have, and we forget a little bit about why we got started or how amazing it is. And there's so many different things. Like when you get that brand new car, every time you get in the brand new car, you're like, oh God, it smells so good. Like the smell, right? Like the new car smell, there's nothing like it. Like, and people get in your car, they're like, oh, it smells so good. And then what's really interesting is, after you've had that car for a while, you don't even like stop to smell the leather, for crying out loud. Like, and that might be because you can only smell like the goldfish that are ground into the carpet in the back seats. I don't really know. But what I'm trying to say to you is that these moments, these trainings, these opportunities to come together with people who are like-minded and on a like mission as you, to change their life, to change the lives of other people, there's just something really inspiring and magnetic about it. So I'm thrilled to be able to jump on here and talk to you guys about the power of the pivot, because it's such an incredible and fundamental part of what we do. And we have to master this part. We have to get good at it. So there might be some of you who are like really great at this, and you might learn something new. We're going to level up your skill set today. There's going to be some of you who are really scared of this part. Like, you just get into those conversations, you're like, I don't know what to do or what to say, and you kind of freeze. And then there's some of you who might just be getting started. You might just be re-engaging with your business, and you're coming with a mindset of like, I really want to show up in the ways that I was supposed to all along. I really want to get great at what we're doing here, because this isn't going to be great until I get great at it, right? And that's the thing that we got to learn. We got to humble ourselves a little bit. I love that Kayla talked about, are you in your own way? Like, how many of us have been in our own way? I sat there and I was like, oh, I know that for sure. I've definitely done that to myself. But at the end of the day, we're all humans. At the end of the day, we can all decide and choose to do and be better. And that's the beauty of the life that we've been given. So with that, I wanted to say this to you. When it comes to the pivot, the posture in that, the confidence, I don't know what happened. I missed the part of my hair over here. The confidence in that, the belief in what you're doing basically comes from you being locked in. And I want to talk about that a second before I get into the power of the pivot, because this part is really important. It's so incredibly important. If you are not locked into who you are and what you want, you are going to fall victim to and suffer the casualties of everything that is happening around you. Everything. Because when you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And so every little distraction, every little, trip up, every little speed bump, every little anything that's out there, every little wind, that every time the wind changes, you're going to be at the mercy of that. Like, and some of you guys feel like that. Some of you guys feel like you've been tossed by the waves, that you're caught up in these perpetual little like tornadoes, be it our economy or the politics or whatever it is. And the reason why you just get swept up so easily into this, that, or the other is because you're not grounded. You're not grounded in who you are and what you want. You're not. And it's so funny because people are like, how are you so confident in what you're doing? How are you so confident in this industry? How are you so confident in this company? Because I'm grounded in it. I know that we have the best opportunity for the everyday average person to win. And when you have an opportunity where the most everyday average person can absolutely win, that means it encompasses more people. I was a part of businesses where only the rock stars win, and I wasn't a rock star. Right? I've been a part of businesses where in order to be successful, it took an extraordinary amount of effort and talent to be successful, which means not everybody could do it. But what I found here and what I love here and why I'm marching to the beat of the Modere drum is because I know like what we have, and I'm so grounded in that. So I want you to know, I want you to lock in. I want you to lock into what you want and who you are. So I want you to think about, when you think about like what you want, what do you want? What do you want to create? When you think about that, what is it that you want to create in this business? Do you want to create more options? Do you want to create more flexibility? Do you want to create more choice for your family? Then settle into that and look at what those things will create. And then know that every single day I'm showing up, just like Kayla talked about, I'm showing up to create this for my family. It's not about the rank or the points or the sale or the commission or any of those things. It's not the titles. It's showing up every day, working toward what it is that you want. That's what's going to keep you motivated over time. Then you got to know who you are. You got to identify the 5 values that you hold on to, like integrity being my number one. And if you know me, you know integrity is like paramount, right? Identify those values for yourself and lock into those. And if it doesn't align with what you believe and what you know to be true about who you want to be, then it's not happening, right? We're going to eliminate those distractions. We're going to quiet that noise. We're going to stop consuming things that are creating confusion. We're going to stop consuming people and things out there that make you doubt yourself and where you are in your life. Like I literally unfollowed every single person who was posting Halloween decor. It's August 2nd, or wait, it's the 3rd, for crying out loud. I don't want it. I mean, I love it. It's my favorite season, but come on. Can we just stop and enjoy the moment we're in right now? Because if you're not present to today, you are definitely not going to be present to tomorrow. And so much that you miss, it's just crazy town to me. So with that, let's talk about the power of the pivot, the confidence in that. Listen, everything I'm going to teach you today, you're going to be able to go and use. You're going to be able to take it and run with it. And it's the key. It's like that tiny little thing that you add. You guys know when you're like making things and you're like designing something like a birthday invitation or a cupcake, and you making like, oh, that looks really great. But then you grab that one little sprinkle, or you grab that one little gemstone, or you put that piece of furniture in that one little spot in your room. You're like, oh yeah, I just nailed it. I just did the whole thing. The pivot part, this is that thing. This is that thing that's like, right? It just makes it amazing. So as I talk about this, here's what I want you to remember. Most people freak out about the pivot because they're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. Like, you think that when you get in a conversation with people and you're going to pivot the conversation, the mistake that you're making is you're assuming and making this judgment for yourself that the pivot has to result in a sale. Can you please stop doing that? Stop putting that type of pressure on yourself. We're not pivoting with people to make a sale. We're not pivoting in conversation to sell somebody on the idea of starting a business. No, I'm going to say this to you, and I want you to remember it for like ever, especially in those moments when you're turning on your business and you're getting into conversations. Our jobs, we are professional finder outers. Our job is to find out what people need, how we can help. Look at my fingers shaking. I probably shouldn't have that second cup of coffee. Because I get naturally excited with like coming on and just adding value to people. So caffeine not required. Oh, I just realized how that giggle just made me sound completely insane, but I'm just excited. So anyways, we're just professional finder outers. We want to find out what people want. We want to find out what people need. We want to find out if we can help them. We got to find out if it's the right time. We got to find out if they're interested. We got to find out if this is something they're ready for. We have to find out if something they can afford right now. We have to find out. All we're doing is finding out. Whew, doesn't that just take the pressure off? Like, all we're doing is finding out. And I love that because it makes the pivot so much more genuine, so much more authentic. And when you move in a genuine and authentic way, it can't come across as anything other. And when I'm in that find out mode, I hear differently, I listen differently, I see differently, and I show up differently. And I want that for you too. So Couple of things to keep in mind. Just like a lot was talked about today, what I love about events is the opportunity to recommit to yourself, to recommit to your business, to recommit to your team, to recommit to your goals. And what I want you to do right now, especially as we're in a launch mode, right? We are in launch mode. We have some incredible new products coming. We have some incredible new things coming. You guys should see what's coming over the next 36 months. Oh my gosh. But we are in a launch season, right? Getting ready to launch a whole brand new product line and some really incredible things. And so we have to decide right now, what type of approach am I going to take? Am I really going to take a full-time approach to this business or a part-time approach to this business? And let me just help you gauge what that looks like. Because sometimes people think that it equates to actual time you put in the business, because we've been indoctrinated, from the time that we were little to kind of develop this employee mindset. And so full-time means 40 hours a week. Part-time means 15 to 20 hours a week. But in this space, in this profession, part-time and full-time looks completely different, that investment. So if you're part-time, right, here's what that looks like. Write it down so you can decide and you can commit later. Part-time is 1 to 5 exposures every single day in your business. 1 to 5 exposures. I didn't say sales. I said exposures. Okay. And full-time is 5 to 10 exposures. So when you look at that, you get to see, even if you look back, you're going to be like, oh, I've only been doing part-time effort, but expecting full-time pay. Okay, I need to level set that a little bit. Or I've been doing that full-time effort and you're obviously seeing the fruit of that, right? Or you're like, shoot, I got to expose people every day. No wonder I'm not having the success I thought I would. It's linked to that, dude. All right, so we're going to decide part-time, full-time, declare it right now. Drop it in the comments. Part-time, full-time, PT, FT. Okay, so we're going to decide there. So when you think about pivoting, right, we talk about posting, we talk about engaging in comments, and we talk about getting in a conversation. If you want to really initiate this for yourself, and my call to action for you today is just like pivot 3 times. Pivot 3 times. Just dip your toe in the water. And of course, you can scale that. If you're like, no, I don't want to dip my toe in the water. This girl is going to cannonball. Then do it, right? Absolutely go for more. But I want you to think about the pivot is like all I'm doing is finding out. So when you are pivoting, all you're doing is taking control of the conversation. So if you think about a basketball player, if a basketball player catches the ball, they have to pivot on their toes, right? They pivot, they change direction, and they get an idea. They're able to find out who the ball goes to next, right? So when we're pivoting in conversation, we're changing the direction of conversation. So the pivot is initiated with a simple question. So let's just say you're getting in a conversation about kids going back to school or kids going to college. Those are a lot of conversations I'm in right now. And I'm asking questions like, what did your kid need to go to college? And what did your kid need for their apartment? Blah, 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 blah. And we're there. And then I say things along the line of, based on the person, if they're not my current customer, hey, Erin, I know you're not my customer right now, but I would really love to connect you to some of my favorite products. If I sent you a link, would you check it out? Now, I'm just finding out if she would be interested in checking it out, right? Or I made a post the other day kind of just highlighting, a teaser about our new products coming out and got into a conversation and able to pivot that conversation. Well, this product doesn't launch for a few weeks, but I would love to get you on some stuff now that would get you connected to some products now that would set you up for maximum success with that product. Is that something you would be interested in? Would you like more information? So when we're pivoting, I want you to think of, while I'm in this conversation, I don't care who you're in the conversation with. A lot of times we restrict our ability to talk to people based on how the conversation started, but you can pivot anytime. And I know it because you do it all the time already in regular conversation. You have been in conversations recently where you and your friend are talking about one thing. And then you pivot the conversation. Oh my gosh, did you hear about this? Oh my gosh, did you see that? Oh my goodness, did you know that this is, going on in town and blah, 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 blah. We pivot the conversation all the time. Oh my gosh, should I tell you what happened on Thursday at my daughter's dance class? We do it all the time already. So don't be afraid to pivot the conversation. We're just finding out. So I love to say things like, out of curiosity, and I hope you're writing these down, right? These are the pivot moments. Like, out of curiosity, right, we're talking about all kinds of things. And just like a regular conversation, I would ask a friend, hey, have you tried this restaurant? Or, hey, have you heard of this before or that before? I'm going to do it in conversation. Out of curiosity, are you currently taking collagen? Out of curiosity, are you currently doing anything for your gut health? Out of curiosity, are you kind of like creeping into that whole perimenopause thing, right? Some of the conversations that we're in, oh my gosh, yes, I have it. I would love to show you what I've been taking. I would love to share with you information about what I've been using that's really helped with this, that, and the other. You know, I love to ask those questions. So those are little ways that you can pivot the conversation to talk about other things, introducing the business, introducing the products. And I want you to develop the attitude of might as well ask. Might as well ask. Might as well ask. So let me give you an example, completely unrelated to business, because I want you to understand how we always do this. I was in a conversation with a girlfriend of mine who's a teacher, and we were talking about some of the back to school stuff. She's moving to a whole new grade level she's never taught before, going from primary to intermediate, from second grade to fifth grade. I taught fifth grade for a really long time. And so we were just chatting about all things fifth grade and some of my favorite like books to teach math and concepts and, you know, manipulatives and whatever. And then I said, hey, by the way, would you be interested in purchasing a gift card for my daughter's dance fundraiser? And she said, of course. And I said, great. Now, if I wouldn't have asked, she wouldn't have known I had that, and she wouldn't have been able to buy. We have to ask. Guys, we got to get great at asking. All I want to know is find out, you know, if she could, would, or was interested in doing so. Now, was that weird? Did she think I'm like, oh my gosh, you're trying to sell me on something while we're talking about different types of cat litter? No. Like, you know, you're hearing about all the things that are relevant in my life, by the way, and I hope you're giggling along with me. But that's what we're doing. So we're just changing the conversation. I want you to adopt, we're finding out, that's our mode. I'm in find out mode. Who needs this? How can I help them? Who's got a problem I can solve? Who can I impact? Who can I this? Who can I that? Who can I share this with? And what I love about that is you think about those part-time and full-time numbers, these are the exposures, because every time you send information about a product, every time you ask if they're doing something already for this, or if they're interested in doing something for that, every time you find out, those are exposures. Every time we put that information in front of them, it's an exposure. And so we can do that for days on the product side, but how do we pivot to the business side? You know, so when you think about that, again, the pivot starts with a question. So you want to make sure that you're asking the questions. So when I think about it, when it comes to the business, for most people right now, for most people out there in the world, I don't care who you are, money is tight. Money is tight. People are spending money where they want to. People are, you know, being a little bit more conscientious with their expenditures. And so when money is tight for people, what we don't want to assume is that people aren't willing to spend money. What we want to assume is it makes sense for them to spend money when the value behind that is there. So here's what I'm talking about. Getting into conversations with people and like what's relevant right now, back to school shopping. I don't know about you guys, but I got 4 kids, one going to college, 2 in high school, 1 in 8th grade. And so that's 4 pairs of shoes. That's 56 pairs of underwear. That's like, what do we do? 3 pairs of jeans. So that's, oh my gosh, 12 pairs of jeans, 5 shirts. That's, you know, 20 shirts. Like that's, guy, like think about it. And school supplies and this and that. Like it's top of mind for everybody. So when you're in conversations with people, you know, hey, things are super, super tight right now. Like aren't like back to school shopping's crazy. Oh my gosh, yes, it is. Here's my experience. I'm not even, you know, I had somebody say, I'm not even taking my kids back to school shopping. They can go in what they have. We're not getting new backpacks this year. It just seems like an unnecessary expense. And I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. So money's tight for you too. Oh my gosh, ever since this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if I could show you how to make an extra like $500 a month, like in your spare time on your phone, doing what I do, would you want to know more? What am I doing? I'm finding out. Do they want to know more? Yeah. How does that work? Oh, and then we go to send information. Or no, I'm not really interested in making extra money. Okay, but you kind of sound like you are, but that's all right. I'm just finding out. Hey, well, if that ever changes for you, I've been able to earn an extra blah, blah, blah every month. I've been able to, you know, last year, I earned an extra. I mean, sometimes guys, go look at your numbers. They're going to blow your mind. Go look at your earnings. Go look at what you've earned. Go look at what you've accomplished here. It's going to blow your mind. That's going to give you that posture to get in there and pivot the conversation. Because when you tell somebody you made an extra $10,000 last year, they're going to be like, what the what? How do I get started? When you tell somebody that you got paid 37 times in 28 days, they're going to be like, excuse me, say what? That's the kind of stuff that people need to hear when we're pivoting. Those are the kinds of things that we want to share with other people. So it's not just dropping in there and being like, hey, are you looking for extra ways to make money? No, like connect over the need and share what's worked for you. That's what pivoting is all about. So we're pivoting to learn and find out if they're ready, if they want it, if they need it, if they're interested, all of those types of things. We use questions to kind of pivot the conversation to find out. If we don't ask, we don't know. We pivot on purpose. Like, my goal is to help people have more flexibility, more freedom, more choice. So I love to pivot to the business. I love to share the business. My goal is to help people live their healthiest lives, especially moms, because we put ourselves on the back burner and we don't prioritize our own health. And then, like, our kids graduate and go away, and then we're all like, who am I and what happened to my body? Right? And I want to help change that. So we have to understand that that's the purpose and the intention of what we're pivoting for. And we pivot to develop relationships. Guys, you may not always get an answer. You may not always get interest, but you planted the seed. That's the best part about the pivot, is what gets planted. It's not the outcome. It's not the process. It's what gets planted, because now they know. I just shared with them. I made an extra $10,000 last year. I just shared with them, like, what daily pay could look like. I just shared with them how, my business that I run helps take care of all these extras and unplanned things. And now they know, because when they have an extra or an unplanned thing, who are they going to think of? They're going to think of you, because you already had that conversation with them. And what I love about that is, like, as we're not just planting these seeds of sharing, but when you don't come in like desperate and hot and like begging for them to watch something or this, that, when you don't come in that way and you come in because you care. Why? Because you're locked into who you are and you're locked into what you want. It feels different. I'm not interested right now. Hey, totally fine. I get it. Would you mind if I followed up with you in like 30 days? Are you cool if I share the next promotion with you? Or what products or benefits are you really interested in? And when something becomes available around that, I could reach out. I've tried those kinds of businesses before, and, oh my gosh, you wait until you just take a look at it, because you'll see how different it is. And this is what I tell everybody, right? Like, how you share links to Amazon randomly, like you find something cool and you send a link to your sister, or you send a link to your friend. It's like that, except for you're going to get paid to do it. That's essentially what we do. We connect people to really great products. We connect people to a really great way to make extra money online, which everybody is looking for. Take a look. And like, I'm here for all the questions. So I think that we got to get better at taking the ball, taking control of that conversation and changing direction with it, working to find out what it is that people need, find out if people are ready. And when you remove the pressure that the conversation has to result in a sale, that the conversation has to result in a new person joining your business, we're going to lighten the load of what we do. We're going to have fun connecting. We're going to nurture and develop stronger relationships with people, because we're in meaningful conversation and discussions. And guys, that's how you pivot your business, and that's how you work to build everything that we're talking about here today. So put pivot in the chat. So your goal is, I want you to look at, I told you, said go pivot with like 3 people and you can scale it from there, like tiptoe or cannonball. Why not just go for it? You declared I'm going to part-time this, I'm going to full-time this, 1 to 5 exposures, 5 to 10 exposures. Pick your path and go put those number of pivots in today. Ask the questions. So what questions, again, can we ask as I wrap this up in this last minute here, would be questions like, out of curiosity, do you currently take anything for? Hey, while I have you here, hey, by the way, we have a brand new GLP-1 product launching soon. Is that something that interests you? I'm finding out they're either going to be interested or they're not. Right? When I'm in conversations with my current customers right now, thanking them for their business last month. By the way, we have this. Do you want to be put on my need to know or gotta have it list? Right? So these are the things that you can do. Pivoting is what's going to propel your business. Be excited about it. Be excited to become a professional finder outer, because when you find out what people need, you can serve them better. When you find out where people are in life, you can serve them better as a friend. Like, when you find out how you can truly help people, you become that person in their life, that pivotal. Oh, look at that. I didn't mean to do it, but it happened. So thank you. But that pivot, because you pivoted, you have the opportunity to become a pivotal person in someone's life. That person who asked the question, that created the opportunity, that unlocked a massive shift that changed the direction, the trajectory of that person's life. So when I say pivot like a pro, pivot knowing that that's the absolute most incredible part of what we do. So I'm gonna turn it over here, wrap this up, pivot. Let's have a pivot party. You guys know I can't help myself. I'm gonna get all up in it with the acronyms and the alliterations. But yeah, let's have a pivot party. Who's in? Like, you're all invited. BT dubs, just bring some snacks because that's my jam, which is why I'm excited about the brand new products. So I'm excited because I get to introduce, I think I'm introducing him. I'm going to wait and see if Sarah pops on back here. But I'm going to introduce, oh, I am bringing her back on. Yeah.
You are. Yeah. I'm actually going to bring Julio on right now.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
I have really great things to say about him, though. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is. If you want to go ahead, that's fine.
No, go ahead. You got this. I just think listen, here, I just want to brag on Julio for a hot sec. He is a Platinum Black 3. Can I just tell everybody what that means? That's 50,000 in customer sales every month. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. So just know that you're about to learn some really incredible stuff from somebody who doesn't just talk about it, but absolutely does it. Leaders in the trenches are better than leaders on the benches, my friend, and that's Julio. So yay, Sarah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Andrea. Guys, I am super excited to bring on Julio. And Andrea, thank you so much for just the power of the pivot and just all that good stuff with just understanding mindset and really what does that actually mean. And I know probably a lot of you guys, you probably thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot easier than what I've been making it, right? And I am super excited actually to bring Julio on. And I asked him actually just share about 5 minutes with you guys and share his story. And I also feel too, guys,